Have you ever truly stopped to think about how you experience the world? Every sight, sound, taste, and touch feels so immediate, so real, but what if I told you your senses are constantly lying to you? Not out of deception, but because they're limited, flawed, and sometimes even inventing things that aren't there. The truth is, your perception of reality is a carefully constructed illusion, shaped by millions of years of evolution. The science behind human senses is far stranger than most people realize. And once you understand how they really work, you'll never see the world the same way again. Take vision, for example. We think of it as the most reliable sense, but in reality, your eyes don't see anything at all. They're just collecting light, and your brain does the rest. When light enters your eye, it first hits the cornea, then passes through the lens, which flips the image upside down before projecting it onto the retina. That's right, your brain receives the world upside down and has to flip it back before you can make sense of it. Even weirder, your retina has a blind spot where the optic nerve connects, that your brain fills in the gap so seamlessly that you've probably never noticed. And colors, they don't actually exist in the outside world. What we perceive as color is just our brain's way of interpreting different wavelengths of light. Some animals, like bees and butterflies, can see ultraviolet light, revealing patterns on flowers that are completely invisible to us. Meanwhile, snakes like pit vipers can see infrared heat signatures, turning the world into a thermal landscape we can't even imagine. Then there's hearing, which is just as bizarre when you break it down. Sound is nothing more than vibrating air molecules, yet your brain transforms these vibrations into music, laughter, and the voices of people you love. Your ears are incredibly precise instruments. Tiny hair cells in your cochlea bend in response to sound waves, sending electrical signals to your brain, but your hearing has strict limits. Humans can only detect sounds between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz, which means we're missing out on the deep rumbles elephants use to communicate and the high-pitched echolocation clicks of bats. Even more fascinating, your brain sometimes creates sounds that aren't there. Have you ever heard phantom music in the hum of a fan or the rush of water? That's your brain trying to make sense of random noise, a phenomenon called auditory pareidolia. Now, let's talk about touch, the sense that connects you to the physical world in ways you might not expect. Your skin is packed with millions of receptors that detect pressure, temperature, and pain. But touch isn't just about physical sensation, it's deeply tied to emotion. A simple hug can release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, while a painful touch triggers a flood of stress signals. Some people experience a rare condition called synesthesia, where their senses blend together. They might feel the texture of a sound or taste the shape of an object. And your sense of touch is so precise that your brain can distinguish between the lightest brush of a feather and the gentle press of a fingertip, even though both might seem equally delicate at first. Taste and smell are perhaps the most underrated senses, working together to create the rich experience of flavor. You might think taste happens on your tongue, but in reality, most of what you perceive as flavor actually comes from smell. When you chew, aroma molecules travel up the back of your throat to your olfactory receptors, blending with taste signals to create the sensation of flavor. That's why food tastes bland when you have a stuffy nose. Your sense of smell is temporarily offline. And while we often think of taste as just sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami, scientists now believe there may be other tastes, like fat or even water. Some people, known as supertasters, experience flavors more intensely because they have up to twice as many taste buds as the average person, making them either culinary experts or extremely picky eaters. But the human senses don't stop at the classic five. We have hidden senses that most people never think about. Proprioception is your body's internal GPS, letting you know where your limbs are without looking. Close your eyes and touch your nose. You can do it effortlessly because of this sense. Thermoception allows you to feel temperature changes, warning you when something is too hot or too cold. Nociception is your pain sense, alerting you to potential harm. And equilibrioception, controlled by fluid-filled canals in your inner ear, keeps you balanced so you don't topple over when you walk. Without these silent senses, even the simplest movements would become impossible. Perhaps the most mind-blowing part of all this is that your senses don't just detect reality, they create it. Optical illusions reveal how easily your brain can be fooled, filling in gaps or distorting shapes based on expectations. Phantom limb syndrome shows how people can still feel amputated limbs because their brains refuse to accept they're gone. And in rare cases, senses can cross wires. Some people see music as colors or taste words, a phenomenon known as synesthesia. All of this proves that what you perceive as reality is just your brain's best guess, shaped by biology and experience. So the next time you bite into your favorite food, listen to a song, or watch a sunset, remember you're not just passively observing the world, you're actively constructing it, interpreting signals in a way that's unique to you. And that means there's an entire universe of sensations just beyond your perception, waiting to be discovered. Who knows? Maybe one day, science and technology will let us experience the world in ways we can't even imagine yet. If this hidden science of the senses amazed you, let me know in the comments which sense do you think is the most fascinating. And don't forget to press the bell icon for more mind-expanding explorations of the human body. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing, share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.